Morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to... It's been a while, actually, but before I go crazy, welcome back to episode 7 of the Sounds Legit podcast. How you doing? You all right? How am I doing? Yeah, I'm all right. Just, well, not that you asked, but I like to imagine that you asked anyway. Because you're nice people, unlike me. I'm a nice guy. Well, okay, fine, no. I'm an asshole, but... I'm a nice asshole. So I do have a conscience, though. But no, how you guys doing? How's your Sunday? It's a bank holiday. What are you up to? Painting a fence again? Yeah, it's kind of weird I should ask you that. I didn't even know. I mean, to the two listeners out there, I suppose I should cater to both of you. I like to think I have two listeners constantly. You guys all right? Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, like I said, I do have a cold at the moment. It's ridiculous. It's like one of those kind of, it's a bit weird because it's something I notice normally and usually when I have the stirrings of a cold, I start, ramping up on my immune system, vitamins, foods and whatnot. And in this case, I was doing exactly that. It usually starts up, the back of my uvula, the back of my throat. It's like whatever the virus is, I don't know how they got there. They set up like a forward operating base or something. And that's when I start raining bombs at them. So I'm taking strepsils, I'm eating garlic, and upping my vitamin C count, taking my vitamin D3, my zinc. But these motherfuckers, I don't know. This is a fucking really aggressive strain. It's like, if you ever watch Band of Brothers, it's like that. It's like World War II. And the Battle of the Bulge, you know that one? That the Allied forces got trapped in this massive area. I think it's the Ardennes forest in the middle of winter. I mean, yeesh. And I think it was pretty famous because I think it was mostly made up of the 101st Battalion, a rather famous battalion in the U.S. Army. And yeah, if you watch Band of Brothers, you get that. That's how I learn my history. I just watch films, documentaries. I don't have time to read. I'm beginning to think I actually have ADD, or ADHD or something. And it's okay. Just means my mind can't stay still, particularly for anything. That's why I think that's why I use books to sleep. So if I'm reading a book, I just sleep about a page in. So I have like 4 books on my coffee table next to my bed, on my bedside table. And they've been there for years. And I keep pinching away at them. Now, the problem is, of course, because I'm in the middle of the book, at some point I'll realize that, I don't even know how this started, so I'll go all the way to the beginning and start. So that's going to take another 2 years. But no, I do have a cold, and it's being aggressive. It's insane. It will subside and it'll kick off. It will subside and it'll kick off. And I think it started on Tuesday morning. I woke up with... That's how it always starts, actually, come to think of it. I usually just wake up and the back of my throat's itchy. And that's when I knew, something's going on. And it was really interesting because on Sunday I was talking to my mom over Skype. And she was saying how she was just recovering from a cold. So, wherever she lives. She lives in Germany. And it's interesting. And then I called. Then, she was just recovering from a cold. And then after Monday, went to play football with my mates. Got back, slept okay, but woke up with, just the back of my throat was sore. And that's how it usually starts for me. I don't know. Okay, most people always argue that it takes about, a 3-day incubation period. So I started thinking to myself, what was I doing on Friday? I was at work. So I blame my colleagues for this. Someone went off somewhere. And they brought back some particularly nasty strain. And I have to suffer for it, Christ. One sec, just moving a couple of things around. Cool. Anyways, so now I have a cold. Well, I don't necessarily think so because it never really manifested in a sore throat. It's just the part I hate the most are where my nostrils get blocked and I can't breathe properly. Granted, it's just one of them at the moment, so thank God. It's almost as if the body is just trying to say, dude, we are going to shut down one of the oxygen intakes because, you know, we got to reduce whatever it is you're bringing our way. We got to shut it down. I'm like, yeah, okay. But I did remember the one time where I had both my nostrils clogged. And that was the last time, you know, I swore to myself I would never use one of those first defense nose inhaler type gigs. Because I used that, and holy shit, I couldn't even, both my nostrils were blocked. That has never happened before. And I think my body was just like, it's like a kind of, you know, code red submarine mode. It just went deep lockdown, you know. I mean, I'm talking about DEFCON 6, and I couldn't breathe. So I had to breathe through my mouth. Became a mouth breather. I remember that was the longest night in my life, to be honest, yeah? You don't think about it because you go to bed at night and then you wake up at 6 o'clock or 7 or 10 or wherever if you're a student. And yeah, you don't think about it. But if you don't sleep, it is a long time to be awake. And in this particular instance, I remember I couldn't sleep and I was like a fucking zombie. I was just walking around my flat. Well, I used to live in a house here at the time, so yeah, everybody was asleep. There was 4 of us, so one of us was out for the night. It's my good buddy John, and he wasn't back yet. The others were asleep, so I was just trying to do everything. I couldn't sleep, and to make things worse, I had taken a decongestant from a brand, and I'm going to say the name, Sudafed. Fucking hell. I mean, back in 2009, or was it 2008? 2009, 2010. Jesus Christ. I mean, at the side of the package, they did say that side effects may include nausea, hallucinations, and it's like, oh, okay. Never actually thought that would apply to me, though. And holy shit, did that trip me out. And it was the weirdest dream ever, because I kept dreaming. If you're familiar with the Aliens, Predators franchises, and then, you know, you have the Alien versus Predator franchise, yeah. Somehow, my brain decided to just, let's investigate that a bit more. So I'm playing. In my dream, I was this Marine guy. Oddly enough, I didn't have any gun or weapon. And I was being hunted by aliens and predators. So it was a pick between them. So I think I woke up 3 or 4 times. Each time, I'll just get jacked by a predator. Or an alien or a xenomorph, you know. So I was traumatized to sleep. When I was awake, I couldn't breathe normally, so I had to breathe through my mouth. And when you breathe through your mouth, you actually put in the effort to breathe, and it becomes even more annoying. So, and the one thing I kept getting really scared of was that maybe I'll just forget to breathe when falling asleep, when entering into REM sleep. So that thought alone kept me awake. And so it went. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:38, 2:41, 3:01. I was like, oh, Jesus. And then John comes back. Guy's absolutely blitzed on booze because he's been out clubbing and partying with his mates. Comes in, slams the door. I think you can tell the level of a person's sobriety when they close the door. Because if you're sober, you close the door. But if you're drunk, you slam it. And then the nature of your door slamming depends on how drunk you are. If you're like blackout drunk that your body has gone into subroutine automatic mode, you know, it's just like it's not like a Google car AI thing. It's like your higher brain is so fucking gone that it's left to your middle brain and then your reptilian brain to just take you home. So this is just bare minimum here. This is bare metal. This is firmware. So it's like if you're into computing, and I'm trying not to go, of course, yeah. It's like, so you have a computer, Mac or Windows. You know, you have the Windows operating system that you work with. That's you, right? So you're doing that. If something should go wrong, you normally have like a pre-execution environment, at least in Windows, that you can go to try and troubleshoot things. If that doesn't work, there's always the BIOS that comes with the motherboard, which is the firmware that does the absolute basic. Now, I'm thinking these 3 levels applies to human beings and how drunk they are. So he comes in, slams the fucking door, man, you know, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, this guy's fucking nuts. He's gone, man. It's not even John anymore. It's some human that just barged into the house. And in this house here, I used to live downstairs, so all the rooms were upstairs, and my room was literally next to the main, the living area, the main area. So it's where we'd all chill out, hang out, watch TV, play Xbox or whatever. So he slams the door. I was like, oh, fuck. I'm not going to sleep. Oh, Jesus. And then he basically just slumps into the couch because that's his favorite spot. Switches on the telly, which annoyed the fuck out of me because I'm like, could you not just go to your fucking room? Or at least if you're going to snore in the living room, can you just not switch on the telly? And, within 10 minutes, the telly was switched on. I heard him. He started snoring. I was like, for fuck's sake. And so I let him sleep for like another 30 minutes. I was trying to read something. And I woke him up, I just, gently roused him up and said, dude, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I, dude, I'm trying to sleep, man, And it's like, oh, yeah, sorry. So he shumbled upstairs and he didn't even bother switching off the telly or switching off the lights because he left the lights on. That's how fucking gone he was. And then I heard him go upstairs. He just brum, and just went to his bed. And I swear to God, I swear to Odin, the All-Father, I swear to something out there, watching us or not, he just literally slammed into the bed. It's like a tree being felled or something. It's like, timber. Guy just slammed into his bed and he was gone. He was out again. And he started snoring. So I could hear him from my room because his room was directly above mine. And I hated him so much. I hated all of them. I hated every person on the planet that could sleep, and I couldn't sleep because I couldn't breathe. It's like, imagine trying to sleep and then your nostrils are blocked because you probably have had the cold before. Excuse me. You probably have had the cold before, and you probably have experience of your nostrils being blocked. You remember how inconvenient that can be. So imagine then, both your nostrils are blocked and you probably have maybe about 7 pinpricks of space in your right nostrils to breathe oxygen from. So your entire body is trying to get oxygen through this blockade, and there's only 7 pinpricks of air coming in. Do you know how long that would take for the lungs to just get a decent breath in? So you're trying to be like, literally, that's how bad it was. And I was going crazy. I was going fucking mental. So I fired up my computer and said, my nostrils are blocked. I literally typed that into Google. My nostrils are blocked. What can I do? So I started looking up some natural remedies, learned some really cool stuff. And then one of the, at this point, I'd try anything because I was so fucking desperate. I was like, fuck, I need to sleep. And it was interesting because I think the next day, because this was a Friday, on Saturday I was going to some social thing. So I really needed to sleep. And then I learned about like how if you, mixed salt with water, you can basically just like apply it to your nostrils and it unclogs it, which is why a lot of people like taking walks near the seaside because of the salt water. It clears the nostrils and whatnot. So of course I do this. I'm desperate, remember? And I, got some like a kitchen towel. I crumpled in some rock salt because I had some rock salt with me, and then doused it. I took a glass of water and doused the wrapped rock salt in kitchen toilet roll in the water and kind of created like a ghetto type drip feed, and then dripped it down my nostrils, and it was fine. It instantly cleared. I was like, oh, thank God! Oh my God, that's so good. Now the problem, of course, is gravity kicked in. So the salted water kept moving. So it just went down the back of my nose, down my throat. Then I swallowed it, and then within minutes, my nostrils were clogged up again. So I'm like, fuck, we have to do something. I was really desperate. So, and this is why I love my brain. So this genius idea hit me. I was like, wait, if the salted water is always moving, how about we just make it not move? And then when I said that, remember, this is a sleep-deprived brain. This is my primary reptilian brain kicking in. As I listen, forget the water. Let's just add the salt. That's what the thing doesn't like, right? And I was like, yeah. So I actually got my other salt. It's like fine table salt. I dipped my pinky finger into the glass of water and then just sprinkled a healthy serving of salt. You know where this is going already, don't you? On my finger, and just jabbed it up my nostrils, and I jabbed it deep. It's like fracking. You know when they're fracking somewhere in Hertfordshire over here? Yeah, that was me. I was fracking my own nostrils, yeah? And I'll tell you something. It fucking worked. It fucking worked. Oh my God. It worked, yeah. But it fucking hurt at the same time. And at that point, I welcomed the pain. I welcomed it. I felt so alive. But my nostrils opened up and I was like, can you imagine, after not being able to breathe for like about 3 hours, not properly, you're breathing through your mouth now, you know, you're a mouth breather essentially, which is one of the most glorified insults the Americans would throw at someone. I was a mouth breather for 3 hours and see what it did to me, you know? And I just sat back and just had a deep breath. I was like, honestly, I almost cried. Right there, I felt slightly high because I was like, my lungs just expanded. And it's like, yes, we're back to 60% capacity here. As opposed to, about, I don't know, I suppose the equivalent, but with your mouth. I mean, you don't want to breathe with your mouth because, I mean, your nostrils evolved to filter out particles. So if you're breathing with your mouth, there are no filters, or at least half of it's gone because, you know, I don't know. How does that work? Yeah. Because even though you breathe in through your mouth, it still goes through your trachea and then into your lungs, whatnot. But at least right from the nostrils, you have some filters there, and your olfactory senses detect if something's wrong or not with the quality of the air coming in. It's really interesting. Let me finish the story first. You put a linchpin in there, olfactory senses, right? Anyways, so I go to bed, finally. My nostrils were stinging like fucking crazy. So yeah, if you're going to do this, yeah, it fucking hurts, all right? Yeah, it really, really hurts. But it works. Which, for me, I'm much of a utilitarian person. And that actually just spawned off another thing I could talk about, because I make like vegetable smoothies that most people say looks like vomit. Tastes great, but it looks like vomit. I'm like, yeah, I'm not into the aesthetics thing. I'm into nutrients. My body likes nutrients. I mean, if anyone could see what the foods they eat look like when it's been digested, and in fact, you don't even need to. You just need to look at your shit, you know? How about you pay attention to the things you've done to the world? If you take a shit, get up, look at it. Yeah, that's reality right there. Yeah, I'm talking about shit now. Yeah, let's talk about shit. No, I'm just kidding. A friend of mine once told me that the signs of an intelligent conversation will most likely involve shit talking, literal shit talking. It's hard to tell if I was being sarcastic or not, because I could never read this guy. He was one of those kind of guys that, you know, he's got the beard and mustache and everything, shaggy hair, quite a dashing dude, I might say, and he just has this stone poker face all the time with no emotion, so you can't read anything. So when he's talking to you, you're like, okay. So I go to bed. Going back to the story, of course. I go to bed. And, I sleep for another 4 hours, woke up about 8 o'clock, and I felt absolutely amazing. So I like about my body, and if I should go ahead, the human body, it's just, it can operate on the absolute bare minimum, if you don't redline it too much, you know. I always believe, like, something you can do is, you know, if you go to bed early one evening, you can take the piss and go to bed late the next evening and you'll be fine. It's when on the third day you keep going to bed late that you start feeling the negative effects, you know, because your body just needs time. It gets older. It gets worse the older you get. So, but in most cases, the body is a very fantastic thing. If you think about it, it's had millions of years to evolve. I mean, it's involved an endocrine system, an immune system, your nervous system, you know, all those digestive systems. Digestive systems, you know. The reproductive system, although I don't trust that one. That one tricks you. As a guy, just tricks you right from the age of 11 up until 29, 30, 31. And then you're like, shit, what the fuck's been going on? And it's very interesting because I think probably talked about this once. Like, I don't think... Of course, women don't understand guys because if they understood men, a lot of this whole conflicts in relationships would just be nullified instantly. If you're dating a guy and he's not in his 30s, understand that his dick is literally connected to his brain, and that is doing 60% of the talking. Right there, that's all you need to know. When he's 32, 33, then you can have a rational conversation with a human being. But between the ages of like 13 and 28, do not expect irrational thinking 100% dude. Unless, of course, the guy's a genius and then he can just rise above it. But for typical common dog soldiers like me, shit. I mean, like, how old am I? I'm 32, going to be 33 this year. So I'm beginning to be rational about things. So I look at things now, it's like, yes, all right. I mean, I still get the occasional rage. It's like, what was that quote from the new Batman v Superman movie? It's like, and this is how it starts. The fever, the rage, a feeling of hopelessness that turns good men cruel. Honestly, that could be applied to puberty. I remember when I first had the rage, man. I think my buddy and I talked about this in my Legacy podcast. It's like you grow up, and as a guy, as a boy. I'm talking because I don't have the experience of growing up as a girl. So yeah, and there's another. I should write these things down. I keep touching upon these things I'd like to talk about, and I never talk about it. And look, it's 22 minutes in, and and this is, I think, across the board, any man listening to this, amongst my two fans, my silent fans that don't subscribe to me, but listen to it anyway. As a boy growing up, you would have found girls annoying. They couldn't play the way you and your mates could play. They were just these ambassadors that just poo-pooed everything. It's like, let's play catch. I can't run fast enough, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. They dressed different from you. They just did things differently, and they always wanted to challenge you and fight. You're like, fucking hell, stay away. Literally, that was it for me and my mates growing up. The girls were annoying. It was just annoying. We're like, don't play with us. I mean, we don't care. Go away, And then, of course, by the time I got to like 11, 12, when the rage started to kick in, I was like, Jesus Christ, whoo, And then there were no girls; they were all gone. They all packed up and left. And my buddy and I talked about this. I don't know. It's almost as if the girls know. It's like, oh shit, look at them. They can see us like in the distance. They can see that feral look in our eyes as we de-evolved back into like cavemen or something. And they all just, I think that's when women start becoming like Borg, like a collective. They all share information and they all bandy together, which makes sense because, I mean, back in primitive hunter-gatherer times, there was strength in numbers anyway. And women just learn. Women are better cooperators. They cooperate with each other a lot more. Dudes, we do cooperate when it has to be. When there has to be cooperation. But for the most part, we just want to do our own thing. So we're pretty much independent Cossacks or whatever. But women, yeah, they bandy up. My point being, so I'm drinking tea here, so apologies. My point being, Jesus, what was my point? I don't even know. I was talking about how I took salt up the nostril, yeah, and went to bed. Should finish up that story, shouldn't I? Okay, so to end up that story, the story's already over, but to end it up, I got up and walked to the bathroom and looked at the mirror, and I looked like a crack cocaine person or something, I don't know. I just had like dried salt just flowing down from my nostrils onto my lips, and I just started laughing. Because I looked like someone that's abusing crack nonstop. And I didn't care because I slept for 4 hours. I was happy. That said, so I have a neighbor that lives upstairs, because I live in a flat now, and there's a neighbor that moved upstairs, And I'm not necessarily happy with her conduct recently, because she moved in. I got her a bottle of wine to welcome her to the building, because it's my way of welcoming. And also, psychologically, saying, listen, be nice. So I gave her a bottle of wine. I actually met her mom. She seemed nice. And I said, I'm just trying to welcome your daughter to the flat, to the apartment block, because she's my neighbor. I live downstairs and everything. And all was well until one of my neighbors switches on a telly, and you can literally feel the electricity flowing into it. It's just like this. You can see how annoying that sound is. Yeah, I have to deal with that every night now. Yeah, man, no, I'm drinking. I'm doing hash, heroin, cocaine, meth, speed. Yeah, that speed was a bad idea. I just want to clean my flat afterwards. No, I'm just joking. But for the first week, literally, I couldn't sleep. And I did speak to her saying, listen, did you leave your... I didn't know it was a TV at first, so I asked her if extractor fan was switched on, and she goes, oh, no, it's broken, and it's just my telly and everything. She knows it's a problem. She knows that's what it does. I was like, oh, okay, can you just move it somewhere else? Because it's killing me. I can't sleep. And she's like, okay, cool. So, in fairness to her, she did move it, but I can still hear it. It's not as bad as the first time I heard it, but it's still annoying. I wonder if she's one of those kind of people that can only sleep with white noise or something. So maybe she has it on to have the white noise in the background, which I don't mind, but it's just the electricity. I can feel it, man. It's like, and I'm like, fucking hell. I've been living in this flat for like 3 years. I've had 2 couples live above me. Couldn't be happier. Even when they banged each other or whatever, I'm rooting for the guy. That's the kind of guy I am. The dude's banging his guy. I was like, dude, go for it. I do time him though. So if he goes beneath 5 minutes, I'm like, dude, you need to work on your cardio. You need to do some squats. So I just start, absentmindedly telling him what he has to do. I did tell you I was an asshole, right? Yeah. No, but I was never bothered. That's my point. I was never bothered with that. The way adults knew what we were doing. My neighbor is a student, and not to bash students, but I was fine for 3 years until she moved in. And it's like normal day-to-day stuff. She's fine, Just when she switches on the fucking telly, it drives me nuts. Now, the only good part of this entire story is the sheer fact that because of circumstances and my increasing desperation to get some sleep at night, I finally learned how to use earplugs, which is insane because I have this, silicone earplugs I got in Germany. I don't even know why I bought them when I went to see my mom over the past Christmas. And it's something I love about the Germans. They know how to manufacture stuff. They are the best in manufacturing. These earplugs, right? They were like silicone materials or whatever. So initially, when I'd use them, they would pop out or they wouldn't fit into my ear canals properly. So, I'll still hear whatever I wanted to hear. But I've never really had the chance or need to use them. Now, because of my neighbor's TV, I think if you spend 4 nights in a row not sleeping properly, it starts to get to you. I started complaining at work again. I was sitting in front of my computer and I was literally falling asleep because my office was quiet. It's a lot quieter than my flat. And that's just horrible, to be honest. So I in about 2 o'clock in the morning, no, it wasn't 2 o'clock. I got home early that day. I had dinner. This was 3 weeks ago on I think on a Tuesday. I'll just say Tuesday. Anyways, I got home from work, had dinner, and I was already sleepy. So I knew the food would make me extra sleepy. So I had I had a lot of food that evening. I just wanted to knock myself out. So my food was like my sleeping pill. Yeah. And did I tell you that I had a cold? Or I have a cold? Yeah, I have a cold. So forgive. Oh, I got something. Remind me to talk about. Yeah, remind me to talk about my Frank J. Underwood impression, House of Cards. I just said out loud, maybe I'll remind myself. Anyways. And then I was like, I gotta sleep. So it was a bit quiet because I think my neighbor upstairs hadn't switched on the television. And then I was about to sleep, and then I heard it, the humming sounds from upstairs. And I was like, oh, fuck, I need to sleep. And I realized my brain fired off this, sonar to the depths of my consciousness saying, listen, dude, you did buy a earplug set, right? I was like, yeah, I did. So I raided one of my shelves, found it, and then I went back to my bed and I sat there, literally dizzy. I was literally couldn't even sit up. I was so dizzy. My head was moving all over the place. I was swaying. I was like almost, punch drunk. I was like, I have to sleep. So I just took this kind of the earplugs and just deep struck them into my ear canals to the point where I didn't care if I couldn't take them out. I just deep struck them. And then I remember, the only thing I remember next was waking up because my bed was vibrating. And, well, not the whole thing, but part of it. And then I realized, I turned around. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was my mobile phone. And I couldn't even hear the alarm melody or the ringtone. I couldn't even hear it. I just felt the vibrate. I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't hear anything. And then I pulled out one of the earplugs and I was like, whoa, okay. And the good news to that is the sheer fact that, well, I don't know if it's good news, but it's slightly embarrassing to admit that I hadn't been using earplugs properly in the past 11 years or something. Because whenever I used earplugs, I would hear something, I would still hear stuff and say, wait, why am I even doing this? But with these bad boys, I could not hear anything. I mean, even when, because if you jammed earplugs up, or if you even wear headphones, you could hear yourself breathe. So the modulation of your voice is more detailed. Even then, I could hear myself breathing, but it was slightly distant. It's like 2 levels, far away or something. So no, there, because of my neighbor's crazy television screen, I learned how to use earplugs. So yeah, improvement. Feels good. Now, before my earplug or eargate discovery, I think my neighbor, she has a booty call dude that comes in. Now, it's very interesting because this guy comes in at 4 a.m. in the morning. Because I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of fuck booty call is that? I mean, Jesus Christ, what are you going to do? I know what's worse. So the guy pops in 4 o'clock in the morning, and I do remember once he came in at 4:08, and walked upstairs, and then got in, and then... Now, this is very interesting because I swear to God, they were doing their thing, right? Hey, I'm awake, I can't sleep, and I have to sneeze in a few seconds, so bear with me. I might need to mute the microphone really quick. So I can hear them. TV was on, obviously, because they're trying to mask whatever the fuck they're doing at 4 a.m. in the morning. I mean, if you're going to just fuck, man. I don't give a shit. But anyways, they're doing their thing. And I swear to God, I could hear like some kind of vibrating thing going on. And I was like, okay, so he's there. She's using a vibrator. What the fuck's going on? I was like, Jesus Christ. I think that's rude. That's actually very rude. If a guy should, if you have a guy there, he's there. And he's brought his universal serial bus memory stick or purple stick with him for his dick. You don't need a vibrator. Trust me, you do not need a vibrator. Unless he insists on it. Maybe he did, but I'm just saying, it just sounds rude. Literally in this case, because I could hear, okay, essentially they fucked, and I heard the vibrator being used. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is the guy there for then, That's a bit rude, actually. Because I just said, like, a guy's dick is like a memory stick, and women's vaginas are like universal cereal passports. I'm going to hellfire. Because if you think about it, I've always said in my mind, I think, because I work in the tech industry, I've always said that a memory stick is like one of the worst things ever, because it could plug into any USB port and it could just catch viruses and spread it. And then, of course, USB ports, you got to control it. Otherwise, horrible joke. Anyways, yeah, so the guy comes in about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what kind of a fuck booty call is that? Not that I hate booty calls, but at least get it in before midnight. You guys bang 1 or 2 out, you sleep, and you bang 1 or 2 out in the morning. Yeah, I get it, but you come in at 4 a.m. in the morning. I couldn't sleep already, so I heard you come in. They do their business. And literally at about 6:30, the guy leaves again. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh. I mean, at least have the decency to make him some breakfast. The guy just performed a service. All right. Because he has things to do. But I don't know, man. I was imagining, like, maybe my neighbor. She's one of those, like, hardcore feminist types. You know, the ones that want to kill all men, or they don't want to be, you know, they hate this whole, the ones that participate in this whole slut shame walks or something, slut walks. I mean, I don't know, man. If you're going to work in provocative gear, I'm going to look at you because, yeah, you're switching on primal things in my head. But those kind of chicks, they're screaming at you for objectifying them, whereas they're objectifying themselves in the process, but you're not allowed to objectify them because you have a penis, and obviously you're not rich and attractive enough, so you're not, you know, so you shouldn't. I think they can only be objectified by a Brad Pitt kind of character or something. So I like to imagine that she's one of those, you know, because I don't know her too well, so I'm speculating. And yeah, you might say, why am I speculating? Because it's fun, okay? That's what happens. We speculate all the time. Hell, I generalize too, but apparently that's a bad thing. So I like to imagine that she's like, oh, sorry about that. She's like one of those, you know, I have a notepad here with all the stuff I wanted to talk today. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't even looked at any of it. Jesus. I suppose that could be episode 8, because what even put, I mean, how did I even start? Anyways, so I like to imagine she's like one of those crazy feministic types that has like a male feminist boyfriend, and Jesus. I mean, I know a buddy of mine who's a male feminist, and I like him. He's a really cool dude. But no offense to him, I just feel like when you say you're a feminist, I mean, isn't that sexist already? Because you're already looking at one side of the equation and say, oh, I'm going to support this side. But, you know, I would have thought if the ideal goal is equality, right, shouldn't you just look at both sides? Yeah, acknowledge that, you know, women have been oppressed. You know, this is why the whole movement started in the first place. They've been oppressed in the past for thousands of years. And in the last 100 years, there's been this movement to, you know, improve the standing. Now women can work, for the most part anyway, officially. And there's I think that conversation I had with a friend of mine recently. Because I'm like, you know, officially and institutionally, on paper, women can do whatever they want. They can go to education. They can work in any sector they want. Now, of course, humans are assholes. So you will get people that will try to, you know, indirectly subvert that plan. But it's not a case where there's a situation where it's just official that, no, you're not allowed to work because you're a woman or something. That's not the case anymore, at least in Western countries. And even she would argue in developing countries as well. I'm like, okay. So chill the fuck out. That's all I'm saying, you know, and especially when it comes to like divorce laws and family courts and whatnot. I'm like, yikes. Do you realize that dudes are getting burnt every day? I mean, I was watching this video about this medical GP, this GP whose wife divorced him because they had 2 kids, and she went total mercenary on this guy. And because of her lawyers, because they're fucking sharks, she made him start paying like $15,000 every month. Every month. You know, even though she wasn't working. So she made him pay $15,000 every month, to the point that this guy bankrupted himself. You know, and I'm like, yeah, is that equality? Is that fair? You know, yeah, it's like the whole thing about, I'm never going to go into that because it bums me out and annoys the fuck out of me. So my point is, wait, how did I even get here? My point is, yeah, so if you say you're a feminist, already I'm saying, okay, fine, you're already being sexist. That's the kind of way I see it now. Especially with third wave feminism, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys won already. You won. Women can work. Women can do whatever the fuck they want, you know. There is no social stigma officially anymore. I mean, like, there's this Twitter group that kicked off last week, and I was in bed on Sunday night just giggling because the whole thing was ridiculous. Some chick, what's her name? Hang on, I'm going to Google this out so you can look at this hilarity. Hashtag shout your status. Apparently that's shout your status. that still exists. Yeah, hashtag shoutyourstatus. Yeah, it started by some surprise, some feminist lady that thought it was a good idea to, and in a way, I kind of, okay, I think her name is Ella Dawson, saying that's the lady that did this whole shout your status thing, where you have this Twitter page where chicks are just, shouting out the kind of STIs they have and saying they don't need to be shamed for it. So, in a fair, to be fair, I'm saying, okay, at least, yeah, you're honest, right? But if I'm in a bar and some chick tells me she has, full disclosure, she has herpes, I'm gonna like, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna go get me a drink now. Because, So, I mean, what would I prefer? For her not to tell me and then I have herpes later down the line and I was like, why didn't you tell me? So, on that level, yeah, I kind of, in a way, agree. It kind of makes sense what they're doing, but I don't know, but there's something, I don't know, it's just something weird about the whole thing. So if you go to the hashtag shout your status now, yeah, there's just this whole exchange going on. So I think it's actually interesting that she should bring it up, but initially it just seems a bit weird that, I don't know, maybe this is something you should keep to yourself and then not advertise to the planet. I mean, if you do it on a one-to-one basis, I think that's cool, I suppose I should shout my status. What's my status? I don't know. Not being laid for the past 5 years. Shout your status. That's my status. Yeah, so there you have it. Yeah, I suppose it's this whole encouragement thing. It's like when I went to watch a colleague of mine, she invited me to watch a volleyball game she partook in. And I like how women are very supportive of each other, Because I saw this when I was playing I was watching this volleyball game, which was actually fun, And whenever they would get a point, they would all just come into the middle of the court and just hug each other and high-five each other. And I was like, dudes who don't even do that, we're just like, we'll probably high-five the dude if the dude did something really, really cool with high-five him. But no, we're like, dude, we haven't won yet, focus. But every single time, these ladies would get a point, they would just come to the court and just hug each other. And it's like, yeah, let's do it, break, So it's like, yeah. So I think that's what's happening with this whole shout your status thing. So a bunch of ladies, they're coming online shouting their status. Just want to have hashtag herpes and a fulfilling sex life. Being STI plus doesn't equate to the death of your sex life. Shout your status. STI Awareness Month. So I suppose, okay, so maybe I really shouldn't shit on this thing then, because it... I don't know. It's interesting. I find it interesting. Very interesting. God. See, now I'm doing something I should have been doing. I'm reading stuff off the website. I don't know, man. It's a very interesting thought because, you don't want to say, because to be honest, I don't think anyone wants an STI or STD or something. It just happens. And I don't know. Because the idea is that, should it be stigmatized? I don't think so. I mean, if it happens to the person, they have to deal with it, so there's no point in making it worse. But at the same time, just keep it to yourself. Jesus. Ugh, I don't know. So I'm being an asshole here. I don't necessarily know how to deal with that. I thought it was interesting. Because I don't know, if a chick told me she had herpes, I'm like, okay, no. No. We're not. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can handle that. I suppose you have to micromanage this stuff. Because she's getting an attack, you stay the fuck away from her, from those parts for like a month or something, and just So that's like micromanaging. The other thing's fucked, man. I wish they could find a cure for stuff like that because it's just not fair for people to, Because I'm sure it's some asshole dude that actually, it goes both ways anyway. It's some asshole that spreads this. I mean, especially someone that knows what they have and and then ugh. The other thing's a mess. Anyways, yeah. I did read this article about this lady, she was complaining about dating male feminists and saying she would never date another one because they're so fucking weird. And I'm like, yeah, what do you expect? Do you expect a dude to, be a woman? Yeah, what do you expect? Men are men, women are women. That's how it should work. We're not supposed to be perfect. And she said she was giving this guy a blowjob. And this guy had to stop her because he said even though he was enjoying it, he just felt it was too degrading for her to suck his dick. And she was like, dude. And I'm like, that kind of guy, I just looked and I was like, I could just imagine the dude. I'm stereotyping here. It's some dude with fucking... What was that guy that did the Amazing Spider-Man? Andrew Garfield kind of hair, one that just long up front or whatever, wearing skinny jeans, had a strong, wears glasses that... It's probably hipsterish. Doesn't need to wear glasses, but he just pretends to wear glasses, and it's just like, I'm a male feminist, and I believe women shouldn't... I mean, dude, come on, it's sex, come on. It's primal shit, man. Anyways, so she was complaining about, he said that, and she was instantly turned off. I'm like, yeah, you should be fucking turned off. I'll be fucking turned off. I mean, I'm turned off just even listening to it. And then she gave other examples of guys where some guys would pretend to be feminists just to try and fuck her. And I'm like, yeah, are you surprised? That's... Oh, man. So she was complaining about that. And I was like, yeah, well, deal with it. You want dudes to be male feminists, deal with it. You want dudes to not be men anymore, deal with it. This is why the whole thing about when, again, it goes back to the whole thing about feminists. I mean, Jesus, how about you be a humanist at this point, How about you be a humanist? How about both sides? Let's look at both sides. Why do I have to focus on one side? I don't buy it. So let's be. It's like you ask me, am I a feminist? No, I'm a humanist because I want fairness across the board. If a lady's being abused, I'm on her side. If a dude's being abused, I'm on his side. If both sides are being abused, Jesus. Should put the phone on silent. Apologies. There's a buddy of mine invited me to somewhere, and I'm like, dude, Sunday morning is football. I ain't going nowhere. Anyways, so check this out, and it's interesting I should even begin talking about this. So if I mentioned the name Kimber James to you, does that sound familiar? What do you think? If you were to just load up Google Images and, well, don't do this at work, okay? The next few minutes are not safe for work. I'll just warn you right now. If I say Buck Angel, what would you think? Anything familiar? No? How do I know these people? Well, I'll tell you what. So, Kimber James is a transgender woman, and a woman. I mean, literally, she's a woman. There is no even doubt about it. But in this particular case, she's one of those transgenders that went full up. There's this post-op. She doesn't, she used to be a man, and now she's a woman, and now she's just, If you just came to the planet and were introduced to her, you would just think, oh, okay, this is a woman. Buck Angel is a guy, and I say he's a guy because if you look at him, he is a guy, but he used to be a woman. So these are my perfect examples of people that said, okay, you know what? I'm going to switch my gender and I'm going to do it. And they did it. They did it properly. Boom, instantly. It wasn't instant. It took years. But my point being, this is what, if you've been listening to my podcast for the past couple of episodes, when I said, okay, if people are going to switch something as, fundamental as the genders, I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm like, yeah, fucking yeah, do it. Go for it. But do it. Just do a fucking good job at it. And again, one of my examples is this public debate where this dude, clearly a dude in a dress, had beard. The guy wasn't even trying and says, oh, I identify as a woman. I know you're not a fucking woman, honestly. And I think that's even insulting to women. I'm like, just because you wear a dress, you're a woman. No, you're not. Just say you're a drag queen. Fine, I'll deal with that. But don't try and confuse me. If you're going to do something, do it. I'm not going to go to a bar wearing a suit and everything, just the way I am, and tell some guy that I'm into him because I identify as a woman. He's gonna say, no, dude, you're not. You're clearly a man and you're gay. That's the reality there. But what I don't like is for people to just decide, fine, they're going to switch to gender, and then they decide, yeah, fine, they can do whatever they want, but then expect me to comply if my brain doesn't see them the way they want themselves to be seen. So that's the issue I kind of have, So if you look at Kimber James or Buck Angel, I mean, to be honest, Buck Angel, this guy, I still say it's a guy because he looks like a more buff version of Simon Pegg or something. This dude is buffed out, man. The guy lifts weight, is bald, has beards. The guy's yoked, and the only time you can tell he was actually a woman, because I don't think you can attach a penis or whatever, is if the guy takes down his pants, and it is confusing. Then it's confusing because I'm clearly looking like a dude, but with a vagina. What the fuck is going on here? But if you didn't know this and you met the dude, you'd be like, yeah, you go to the pub with him and everything. And that's my point. That's the thing. So this is a woman that said, I want to be a man. And she did it. And she became a he. And he is a man. And I see him. I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, let's go for a drink or whatnot, And the same with Kimber James. Okay, Kimber James, in this, I think both cases, they're both porn stars. Kimber James was a dude that, transitioned into a woman. And now she's a fully blown woman. I mean, Jesus Christ, is she a woman? She was fucking hot, I'll tell you that. But that's my point, Because if you're going to change something as fundamental as gender and you expect people to take you seriously, then you fucking take it seriously. Don't do it halfway, do it half-house and say, oh yeah, when you clearly look like a man, say you're a woman, and then expect me to comply with it. And I was just like, no, because my brain, the back of my brain doesn't see you that way. And I can't help it. That's my point. So there, I present my case study. You may now go apeshit. Oh, man. I was actually reading this article about this vicar who was questioning his fate because his wife left him for an actor. Some rather handsome chap called Robson Green or whatever. So I looked at the like-for-like photo between the vicar and Robson Green, and I got it. I was like, yeah, I get it. She upgraded, Maybe she just had enough God talk, Maybe she just wanted to be fucked. And the guy was probably reading his Bible, probably reading the what's that part of the Bible called? The Old Testament. Is the ecclesiastical books, blah. Anyways, apparently she met this actor, Robson Green, at a gym, and they eloped. So I feel slightly sorry for the dude because they've been married for 20 years. And she just up and left the guy. I was like, whoa, okay. Now, she's an asshole as well because she has 2 kids. So I'm not going to just dump on the vicar here. I'm going to dump on his fucking wife because she's a fucking cunt, honestly. Yeah, I think that's the thing I hate the most. But in fairness, though, she did sit down and said, dude, I'm leaving you for this actor. So I suppose I shouldn't shit on her too much, but I'll shit on both of them. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I would imagine as a vicar, you're allowed to lust after your own wife. What does God think about that? I thought you were in God's club. What's going on there? Are you go to the church every day, you preach the sermons, and you go home and you gorilla fuck your wife into the couch? Is that is that how that works? Does God take kindly to that? I'm sure he would. I mean, didn't God say, go forth and multiply, etc., etc.? Yeah. I mean, back in the Old Testament anyway, when the priests, they all had wives, right? So, yeah, that's normal. What I don't get is when you say guys shouldn't marry. And the Vatican Church, man, those guys are so fucking greedy. They say one of the reasons why they don't let the priests marry is because if they marry and they die or get divorced, the women have claims into the wealth of the Vatican. And I'm like, okay, yeah, understandable, but I thought you guys were supposed to be humanists. Why are you guys one of the richest factions on the planet? What is happening there? What about the meek inheriting the fucking earth? You think Jesus is cool with this? I don't know, man. They're just fucking greedy, so I don't trust those Catholic priests. I mean, if I saw a news article about a Catholic priest, especially a male one, because now you can have female priests, right? I don't know. Do they? I think in England there's the Protestants. It's a Protestant kind of church, but it's a Catholic. I don't even know. But you can have female priests in England. But I don't think you can have female priests in the Vatican, like the pure, hardcore Catholic wearing dudes. If I read an article where it says, oh, they found a priest in maybe with a prostitute, be it male or female, I'm like, yeah. Why? Because he has a penis, he has a dick. That's how it works. We're supposed to fuck. We're supposed to be fucking. That's why we have 7 billion people. So I would actually be happy. The guy's a fucking human. He has needs, And I think, understandably, I mean, hey, may I blaspheme this far? Even God would be honest, like, dude, I get it. I created you. I know what the fuck's up with your brain. So I don't necessarily understand why these Catholic guys, well, I do understand they're being greedy cunts. Why they say you shouldn't marry. You should marry because, hey, you're going to get your rocks off at some point. But no, they're not allowed to. And then it boils over and they start abusing children. And that is fucked up. So, I don't know. Anyways, going back to this vicar. Yeah. So apparently I was reading up on this article and it says this guy's he's just like a player, to be honest. He's a high-level player. He's had numerous affairs, married twice, divorced twice, and the same thing's going to happen here. He's going to have his way with this chick and then she's going to be stuck in between. And I swear to God, let's assume the following. If this Robson Green character, because he's a womanizer anyway, he's going to bang this vicar's ex-wife. And he's going to get tired of her. He's probably banging someone else right now. And he's going to dump her. And then, I swear to God, if she goes back to this vicar, and if he accepts her, then he's a fucking dope at that point. Because, Jesus Christ, dude, have some fucking self-respect. But I thought it was interesting when I first came across the article about almost 2 weeks ago, actually. And the guy was like, he's questioning his fate. I'm like, dude, you don't have to question your fate, I don't know. Maybe just fuck her more, who knows? But then again, the guy is an actor. He's quite popular. Probably has more money than you, so... And then maybe you're not... I don't know, if I just go from a sexual aspect, because that you can actually control. I don't know how women operate on that level, because I know dudes, if we have enough of it, we're not going anywhere. Whatever. If you bang a dude and just drain out his testosterone, to the point that his dick doesn't work, he's not going anywhere, You won't even see, he won't even see women at that point. He'll just see, like people. Women wouldn't exist at that point. So I don't know. In this case, dare I say, it is due to what some people define as hypergamy. So it's a kind of instinctual thing women have to always trade up, which in a way kind of makes sense as well. But it's interesting in this case because she already has kids with this guy. They've been together for 20 years. So why now? Why now? What is she trying to achieve? Who the fuck knows? But it seemed tempting enough to leave a marriage of 20 years with 2 kids for an actor who is more or less a womanizer. So some long-term planning wasn't in this lady's thoughts, I would imagine. And the guy said it was questioning his fate. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Don't question your fate. Relax. Yeah, you have 2 kids who love you. And, it's God's will. Isn't that what they always say? It's like when bad things happen, like planes falling out of the skies or earthquakes killing people, and you have the most religious people. And I got to hand it to them because these guys are staring into the face of absolute horrors and saying, you know what, it's God's will. So I'll console this vicar by saying the exact same thing. It's God's will. Oh, man. So, yeah, I think I'll stop here. I had so many things to talk about and I didn't even get there. So I think I'll have to shift that to... let me just make notes. Got this one. Oh, yeah, actually. No, it's just... I had it written down that if I was married, right, not that would ever happen. I'll never get married. It's too much craziness going on there. I don't want to walk into a death trap trusting the other person who at some point, this is me projecting, might not always work, but there is a possibility that people change. Our cells change every 7 years. They die off and new cells take over. So my fear is this. 10, 15 years in, wife says, I'm not happy, we're divorcing. And she has the power to clean you the fuck out. I don't even want to walk into that scenario. So people that get married, I admire that. I'm happy that it works, but I don't think I can take that risk. Anyways, point is, in my hypothetical situation, being slightly optimistic here, if I was married and my wife sits me down, I come back home from her job, kids are in bed already, and she sits me down. And I know, shit, something's going to happen, right? And she's, oh my God, she's fucking the mailman. And and then she tells me, oh yeah, dude, I'm leaving you for, let's just say, who's a young actor now that would be big later on? Let's just say, hypothetically, I'm married already. Let's just say I'm married already, and we have 3 kids or something. And I come back home from work, and she sits me down and says, dude, I'm leaving you for like Brad Pitt. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, sucks, but yeah, I get it. And why? Because I'm like, hey, it's fucking Brad Pitt, dude. If I was a chick, I'd do the same thing. I'll just be like, oh, thank God, I thought it was the male guy. Oh, fuck. Nothing against male men, of course. I'm just saying. But if she's going for that again, that's why I was looking at the whole Robson Green scenario. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. The guy is popular, is rich, or whatever. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So if she told me that, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, that's fine. And let's do it. You know why? Because mostly and I've said this before and I'll say it again, for me, it's Natalie Portman. She can walk into town and say, dude, let's go have a cup of coffee. I'm divorcing my wife in a heartbeat. Boom. Even just for that cup of coffee, that is it. She is my exception clause, or that, what's the computing term for it? My interrupt requests. She has the highest one. Direct memory access. Boom. Natalie Portman walks into town. I don't even care if she has kids. She doesn't even know about me. That's about me right now. That's why we're not even dating, honestly. Someone let her know that, listen, I understand what she's doing and I forgive her and I'm good. We can still make this work. Oh, God. How narcissistic is that? But yeah, that's why I would get it, because, hey, if you're going to upgrade, you better make sure that upgrade is fucking awesome. And for me, that is Natalie Portman and Monica Bellucci. God damn. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm cool, So in a way, this Vicar should be happy because, hey, it's not like the wife left him for some skeezy. What would have been worse, though? What would have been worse? If the wife had left him for some skeezy type character that, is known in the town or everything. I mean, if I ran into this Vicar at the bar, or in the pub, are they allowed to go to pubs? I'd buy him a glass of water with some lemonade and say, dude, it's fine, it's okay. Listen, she upgraded, it's fine. She upgraded for, admitted. I mean, you look at the guy. The guy's a handsome fella. He's rich, he's popular. I mean, yeah, be happy that, she stepped off from here to there. It's not some skeezy type character that, maybe he's just accepting benefits from the government, doesn't have his own shit together. No, she upgraded for an actor. You should be fucking happy, actually, that, it could have been, if it could have gone in anywhere. It could have gone anywhere. But she didn't do that, so she upgraded. So be cool, That said, how about we get some whores? All right, I'm going to stop there because I'm going off point. But yeah, so I do have a fucking bunch of stuff I was going to talk about, and I just ended up talking about me having a cold. So I would say sorry about if my voice sounds shit. But yeah, this is it. This is the end of the podcast episode. Thank you for listening, all 2 listeners of this. And I will definitely catch you next week. Now, the reason why there's a space, or I didn't post anything last week, because I had the illusion that, I could record a podcast later on Sunday, and I couldn't because I was so fucking tired after playing football, and my brain just wasn't up to scratch. So it's always the best idea to do a recording on a Sunday morning just before football. And I didn't even have coffee today, so yeah, my brain's fine. Now I'm gonna go play football and try to knock out this cold. I'm gonna buy a treadmill, like a portable treadmill. Just gonna have one of those, put it in my flat, just run. I need to get back to running, I need to get back. Because when I have colds, it's obviously my body telling like, dude, you need to step up the fucking game because we are being beset by all sides with these fucking rampaging cunts. Can you imagine that? your body at any given time, when you're healthy, is just fighting off viruses, parasites, bacteria. Hell, even cancerous cells that we don't know about yet, just fucking going rogue all the time. And it's like your immune system is like this Gestapo kind of state where like anything not compliant gets fucking killed. Like your white blood cells are cunts. And they have to be, otherwise you'd be dead. You know. Well, see, I'm going to expand on that next week. But anyways, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to get me a treadmill. I'm going to start running 20 minutes every day, or every 2 days. And I'm going to keep up my high-intensity exercise. See, this is the stuff I could also have been talking about. Oh, well, I think I know what to call this episode now. Shout your status. Yeah, that's what I'll call this one. Yeah, I have a cold that I'm getting rid of. That's my status. Hashtag shout my status. Anyways, yeah, so I'll catch you guys in episode 8 next week. And I really should work more on trying to get more people into this. I might be getting Dan back because I think he's going to China for a work then holiday kind of gig for 2 weeks. So I'm going to nail him down to a board and he's going to tell me everything he's seen. And I really should get working on more guests on putting on this thing. I might have an idea with some people I know, but I need to work on that. But anyways, you have a nice rest of Sunday or start of Monday whenever you get this, and I will catch you soon, okay? Have a good Sunday, weekend, bank holiday weekend, and yeah, I will see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.